Right, so welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It is 1850 points, it's Challenger Scorpion. Black Legion are back. Luke Seaman has come down here to play a second game. We'll be playing a fight across this desert terrain again. We've already had a battle that's taken place with the Black Legion versus the Imperial Fists. But this time, the Black Legion will take on the might of the Skitarii. We all know what that means. The Skitarii have an Imperial Knight of their own, so we may see Knight versus Knight clash here in the desert. Excited about this one, and again a debut here. We've never seen Skitarii fight Black Legion, so excited about this. It's a good lineup. We're fighting out across this desert terrain. We'll see who emerges victorious in this battle. Right, so welcome to this 1850 points Challenger Scorpion game. Skitarii versus Black Legion. So, we have a Skitarii battle maniple, and then they've taken an Imperial Knight as an allied detachment there, just a single Imperial Knight there. So we're still in 7th edition at the moment, with 8th edition just around the corner as we film. So it's Grevan, Ferrous, Maximus of House Raven. He does have a name. He'll be fighting here. Reaper Chainsword for him, Heavy Stubber, Storm Spear, Rocket Launcher on top, and then Avenger Gatling Cannon for his armament. And then formation here for the Skitarii, a Skitarii battle maniple that all fight as one. So 3 Honor Guard Dune Crawlers, all armed with Icarus arrays, a nice bit of anti-aircraft cover there. And then also Cognis Manipulators for them, so it will not die. And then the ability to fight at strength of 10 AP1 in close combat. And then what's been called the Chicken Walkers here, it's Dragoons, 2 of them with their Taser Lances. Then onto Infantry, 1 unit of Vanguard with 2 Plasma Calivers, that's the strength 7 AP2, 3-shot plasma guns. And then also the Alpha there, armed with a Phosphor Blast Pistol and Arc Maul. Then Rangers here with 2 Arc Rifles, and then the Alpha there has a Phosphor Blast Pistol and Arc Maul. Then over here, fighting combat assault units here, a unit of Rust Stalkers armed with Cold Claws, Mine Scrambler Grenades and Transonic Razors. There's a Princeps in there with a Data Spike, and then Omniscient Mask as well for him. It's a relic that's been taken, gives the unit Zealot. Then 7 Infiltrators. We've seen how fast and effective they can be, armed with Taser Goads and Flechette Blasters. And the Princeps in there is armed the same, and no further upgrades for him. So that is the Skitarii here. And again, not sure how well they'll do. We are expecting them to do quite well. There seems to be an army that will take the fight to any type of army here. They've done well in the past, but a new test for them as they take on the might of the Black Legion. Alright, so Black Legion are back. The Imperial Fists held them off, but we can't seem to get rid of them here. They're back again for another fight. Going to take on Skitarii in this battle. So Luke Seaman has come down and has brought his Black Legion along. So he'll run through his list here. Now, Traitor Knight is unnamed, so if you can think of a name, one that's appropriate, sensible names please, then you can leave that in the comments section. So we'll let Luke run through and see what he's got.
Okay, we'll start off with the Raptor Talon formation. We've got 2 units of Raptors with Mark of Nurgle. One's got a Flamer and Power Sword, the other one's got a Melter and Power Fist with a Plasma Pistol. Then you've got a unit of Talons with Mark of Tzinch, which gives them 4 up, with the Chaos Lord with Signal of Corruption and Mark of Tzinch giving it a 3 up with a power, not Power Sword, it's the Spine Shard Demon Weapon and Plasma Pistol. Followed then by the Helldrake with the Bell Flamer. Then we've got the Knight, pretty much the same loadout as Luke's, but with the Melter gun. Mauler Fiend with Lash Whips, Lash Tendrils. Demon Prince, who's going to be the Warlord with Demon of Nurgle, gives it the Shrouded Special, and 4 units of Cultists with no upgrades apart from a Flamer and a Stubber.
Alright, so that's the list. Enjoyed playing against them in the last game of Imperial Fists, but a different type of Imperial army they're going to take on here. It'll be Skitarii, so it'll not be the same kind of game. I want to make things interesting, and I'm sure we're looking forward to seeing what happens with these two two knights on the table. Whether they'll get to lock horns, we'll have to see, but they'll both be an inspiring presence for either side. We'll go on to scenario and deployment now in this battle. Right, so the scenario here, it's an interesting one. It is Purge the Aliens, so it's kill points. 1 point available for each enemy unit destroyed. First Blood, Linebreaker, and Slay the Warlord also available. And then it's Hammer and Anvil deployment. It's fascinating here, because you've got two sand dunes, big one along here, a big one along here. And each side is going to be able to hide behind each. This is the taller one. Luke, for the Black Legion, won the roll-off and has decided to go at this end. Pretty much his infantry units will be entirely masked if he deploys behind that sand dune just there. Then across here, in more the Imperial territory, the Skitarii will deploy with their Imperial Knight. The Black Legion will go first in this game, unless the Skitarii can seize the initiative. We'll go on to deployment now, see how the forces deploy. Black Legion will deploy first. So on deployment at the moment, just mentioning Warlord traits here. I've given it to the Warlord is the Vanguard Alpha here. The Overwatch for this unit will be at Ballistic Skill 4. Pretty handy there with the Plasma Calivers in the unit. Then Luke's Warlord trait, Black Crusade, so not really relevant there, it's for fighting against Space Marines, so nothing there. And then there's the Psychic Powers.
Yeah, I got Warp Fate and Death Hex.
Okay, and the Primaris of?
Is Fury of the Gods.
Okay, so that's those powers there for him. All will be revealed as to what they can do as the game develops. So we'll let the Black Legion deploy. Right, so deployment here, interesting with the way the terrain is, with the two large sand dune areas, one at this end, one at the other end. But cultists filling up the table nicely, one on the left-hand flank. Demon Prince just tucked behind and obscured by this sculpture here. Traitor Knight in the middle. And in front of him, a unit of cultists. Then across the sand dunes, getting ready to charge down the other side. Another unit of cultists, another unit here, and then the Mauler Fiend just on the right-hand side, are getting ready to move around. So that's deployment there for the Black Legion, looking very menacing. Reserves to come on, we'll cover those in just a moment. Skitarii have deployed out in force as well. So left-hand side is Dragoons, 2 of them. Then laying behind, remembering that the Black Legion will get to go first, so behind the embankment here, or the sand dune, with the unit of Rangers, waiting further orders. Back here, these behind another sand dune there, that's the Vanguard. Then the Underground Dune Crawlers anchoring the back, getting ready to fire any flyers that move on. Then the Rush Stalkers being held back as an assault unit in reserve. And then here the Imperial Knight Grevan, Ferrous Maximus holding position just there, ominously looking out across the battlefield, waiting to see what the Black Legion decide to do. You could see hordes of them pouring over that sand dune there in the distance. So for Skitarii, we're going to outflank here with this unit of infiltrators. Then here the Raptor formation will deep strike. Remember, they will be able to assault just with their special rules. It will be allowed to do a disordered charge when they actually land from deep strike. So a danger there for the Skitarii. Need to watch out for them. And then the Helldrake will be flying on from reserve as well. So deployment all done. The forces stare at each other across the valley here. It's a real classic lined up. We'll see. We'll see how aggressive the Black Legion decide to be. It will be their turn coming up next. And then the Skitarii, they're an army that can be aggressive as well. But we'll see whether they decide to hold back and let the Black Legion come to them, or whether we'll see a clash in the middle. We'll go on to the first turn here. Do we want to seize initiative? Do you know what? We'll have a go. Now, the last time we played, Luke seized initiative against me. And in return, I fail and roll a 2. Alright, so turn 1 coming up. Black Legion will make the first move. Okay, so on to the first turn here. Looks like the Black Legion are going to play a bit aggressive. So Cultists leading the way. You can imagine them charging down the sand dune here, zealously moving ahead, filled with courage, knowing that behind them is a towering Traitor Knight. Fiend moving up, super quick as well, moving crossing the edge just there. Skitarii need to be careful. So similar to with the Imperial Fist game that we played previously, the same units here on Assault. So it's aggressive play. So the way we're going to work the terrain here, difficult terrain here, the actual sand dunes themselves, we're going to say there's no restriction, no problem at all. Boxes and barrels, just the usual difficult terrain. Crossing the anti-tank traps, the Black Legion just paying the penalty there, rolling up 2d6, choosing the best. Crossing sandbags, that kind of thing. But regular sand dunes, no restriction. 5-up cover saves all over the table. Behind an embankment, sand dune, whatever it may be, or rocks, is 5+. 5+ for these sandbags as well, and 5+ for this large sculpture on the table. Don't think there's anything better than a 5+. No, so there's some cover around. There's opportunity for obscured targets as well. But Black Legion not going for that option. They're pouring over the ridge here, making their way towards the Skitarii. Got to say, it does look pretty cool. So that's them pouring over. Skitarii are back here, awaiting them. Imperial Knight or Traitor Knight has shifted across, is standing at the top of the ridge. So very, very high here, across the table, commanding view across pretty much the entire battlefield. There's his nemesis there across the way, Grevan. Awaits, they stare at each other. One with hatred, the other perhaps with sympathy. No, not sympathy, I don't think so. Both with hatred, I think it would be fair to say. A righteous hatred at one end and a corrupt and tainted hatred at the other. These pouring through as well. I think we're pretty much done. Demon Prince jumping or taking to the air? Jumping this time. Okay, so he's gone 12 up and over for him. And then this squad pouring around on the left-hand flank. So, movement done. Psychic phase next for the Black Legion. Right, so Psychic phase done. Warp Fate went off here, so re-roll Armoured saves. We failed to block that. And then Death Hex, double one rolled up, so that one didn't go off. That's Psychic phase done. I think the Demon Prince is trying to protect himself here, aware that the Skitarii do have some pretty effective anti-aircraft or anti-flying anything capability. We'll go on to the shooting phase now for the Black Legion on turn 1. Right, shooting phase here. Luke just doing some run moves here with his cultists. 5 inches move with this one, so going down the hill nice and quick. 1 inch with them, 5 inches of them, nice and quick. These ones have just rolled up a 6, very quick from there. It's easier going downhill than it is going uphill, so nice speed from those cultist units just there. 6 rolled up with these as well, so nice and quick from them. It is night fighting, by the way, so there will be that level of protection there. So the dawn sees the sun rise above the crest, and then also a whole load of cultists as well pouring over the horizon towards the Skitarii. So this guy, anything from him?
I'm going to run him.
He's going to go 4, and then that will then leave on top of that. Look at this defiance here from the Demon Prince. You can imagine him moving his axe, swinging it around, encouraging the cultists to press on and move forwards. So saving the best till last, the Traitor Knight will let loose of his first salvo. Alright, so Luke's declared what he's going to do. Storm Spear rocket pod will go after the Imperial Knight, and the Avenger Gatling cannon is going to try and hose down the 2 dragoons over there in the corner, so he sees those as a threat. So Storm Spear first, 3 shots, 3 hits, that's fine. Okay, strength 8, we'll declare our armour or our shield as forwards. 1 penetrating hit, so good start here. Shield does not hold, a hull point has been scored. Oh, there's no way we can recover that. So, as painful as it is, the hull point goes on to Grevan, Ferrous, Maximus. Avenger Gatling cannon, 12 shots, leading freeze.
Roll that one.
They all hit. There's another miss just there. Okay, so we're armour 11. There's no cover. Well, night fighting save we'll get. So there's a fair few, 6, so 3 penetrating hits. Now, we get +1 cover for night fighting. We actually get Incense Cloud 5+ cover save, so 4+ in total. We save 1. We are open top, so roll 1 dice. If you get a 6, it pops. It doesn't. All right, so it's enough to wreck one of them. So one of the Dragoons has been destroyed. So hosed down and destroyed here. One of the Dragoons has gone. Not enough for first blood, or for picking up a point for a unit killed. It's a squadron, need to wipe out the other one there as well. So that's the first turn finished. It's pretty good. I mean, the Traitor Knight was pretty cool there. He's destroyed him, and then also dealt out a hull point there on the Imperial Knight. Chance now for the Skitarii to respond. We'll go on to their first turn. We'll see what they do. Turn 1 coming up for them next. Alright, so moving for the Skitarii here. It's all about, there's no objectives to chase around the table. It's all about survival and then dealing out damage at the same time as well. Just getting that balance right. So across here, the Imperial Knight holding position with him. Yeah, we're just going to sit where we are. We don't want to move out on our own. We'll just hold position, I think. Holding position with these, and then just tucking further behind the bank with the Rangers as well. Just going to wait, bearing in mind there are a lot of deep striking units that can potentially arrive. We have moved out, though, with the Dragoon. He can't really hide too well behind embankments here. He's very tall. So we've moved him out 9 inches with him, and potential charge lined up here. He does stand some chance of doing some damage there against the Mauler Fiend. So that's movement done. We're going to shooting phase next for the Skitarii on turn 1. Right, so shooting phase, we're going to fire. I've got a fistful of dice here. The Honor Guard Dream Crawlers on patrol. Demon Prince spotted. We can fly him, whatever mode he's in, we can fire at him, so we're going to let loose with shooting. Now, Gatling rocket launchers here, so 15 shots, there's 5 shots each. These are strength 6 AP4, and there ignores cover as well. We didn't go for any bonuses here for Doctrine Imperative, so freeze to hit with these, so there will be some misses. There's a good few coming through. He's toughness 5, so we're on freeze to wound. All of them except 1. So they're AP4, so it would be an invuln save. Yep. Could be trouble. Yeah, 8 here. There could be trouble here for the Demon Prince. It's a nasty anti-aircraft unit. Luke's going to roll up and... Reroll. So the power he has there is reroll saving throws, so that includes invuln. So rerolls here, 5+. Saved all of them apart from 3. Is that enough to kill him?
Got 1 wound.
1 wound left. Okay. So he's going to jink here. The other shots he can jink, which will be a 2+. Yes. Right, so there's a chance here he'll stay alive. So Cognis autocannons, 3 of them is 6 shots in total. Freeze to hit, twin linked. They all hit. These will wound on a 2+. 5 saves, re-rollable. No, this is cover saves. All saves, isn't it? Yeah, so re-rollable here, 2+ re-rollable. He's vowed 1, don't get a 1, gets a 6. I've got a feeling he's going to live here. And then Daedalus missile launchers, they all hit, they all wound. These are AP2, but it's cover saves, which he passes. The Demon Prince survives. They're so thankful to have some ignores cover ability there with them. Otherwise, they would really struggle to bring that thing down. But nasty amount of wounds dealt out there. His wings shot through by multiple rocket hits, but he defiantly survives. Right, so Imperial Knight here, firepower coming through. Just measures up the range. Avenger Gatling Cannon is actually out of range of the Black Legion Traitor Knight, so he's going to have to fire a different target. We've measured up. I'm going to go after the Mauler Fiend, just a couple of inches in range. We'll let loose with the rocket, the Storm Spear rocket pod on top. I'll do that in a moment. We'll see if we can put some wounds or some hull points on this Mauler Fiend. Freeze to hit from Grevan, not too bad. And then 6s we need. Nothing. The shot's bouncing off. A lot of rounds coming through, but no damage at all there against the Mauler Fiend. Rockets here, see if we can return the damage. 2 shots coming through. The shield's been declared as facing forwards. Double 1. So they've traded rockets with each other here, and the Traitor Legion or Traitor Knight there has come out slightly better, causing some damage there on Grevan, Ferrous, Maximus. I don't know if they're going to trade missiles with each other all game long. You may see them try and deal with each other in a more up close and personal way. We'll see if they collide, but at this stage it's long range firepower exchange at the moment. So that's shooting phase finished. Assaults, yes there is. We'll roll up here to see if this lone dragoon can make it into contact. 3 inches takes him to there. We reckon 5 inches may do it. We roll 5. We're going to have to measure this up. It's going to be tight. Alright, so charge has gone ahead here. So Lasher Tendrils is the upgrade. So -2 to my attacks. For each tendril. Oh, dear me. So we were getting ready with 4 dice. Here it's 2.
Sorry.
I'd love to get it. I need to apologise. Yeah, we rolled 2 dice. I'd love to get 2 6s, 2 2s, which is a miss. So he's charged in and done nothing. So Morlafine can strike now. Lasher Tendrils, that's a very helpful upgrade actually. Yeah. I'll have to bear that in mind if I ever collect Chaos, which I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So yes, attacks coming through. 2 2s, which means what? Misses.
Misses, yeah.
Nothing. So they fail to get to grips with each other here. The lance, the taser lance keeping him back, and then the Lasher Tendrils keeping the lance away as well. So they're trying to line up with each other at the moment, but he'll be at disadvantage now. It's just constantly -2 attacks.
Yeah, all the time.
So he's just going to 1 attack next time around. Oh dear, right, but locked in combat, interesting. We'll see how long he can last there against the Morlafine. So you take that upgrade instead of the Magma Cutters, is that right?
Yes, it's 10 points.
Okay, cool. Right, so that marks the end of the first turn. It's been an interesting long-range exchange of firepower. Pretty effective there from the Traitor Knight. And then in return, pretty effective there from the Onagar Dune Crawlers. Look quite dominating here on the table. But that is turn 1 finished for both sides. We'll go on to the second turn now. We'll see if any reserves arrive for the Black Legion as the fight continues and intensifies. We'll go on to the second turn for them. Right, so movement here for the Black Legion. 6 inches moved with these. So aggressive play from them. No units holding back here at all. Everything moving forward straight at the Skitarii. So coming around here, the Demon Prince moving out still, playing aggressive with him, moving across. There's not much he can do or hide really. He's just going to try and prove his distraction here, but his days may be numbered. But depends, there's distractions here now. The Helldrake has turned up 36 inches, screaming across the table. May be in range, we'll see. He has got a torrent weapon there. And then 6 inches move with the cultist there. Moving down here with these and these, so flowing past this ongoing melee just there. Then the Traitor Knight was here, about 10 inches across in this direction, closing the ground and the distance between him and the Imperial Knight. So you may see them clash. Luke, both of us, both Lukes, semi-hoping they'll clash in combat. We'll see. Then here they are arriving. So some extreme rolls here. These wanted to land here, 10 inches scattered, but they've stayed on the table. These exactly where they're meant to land, and then these were meant to land here, scattered across, but have stayed out of trouble just there. And they're armed with a flamer across the ranges. So there could be trouble for the Skitarii here. The Black Legion have arrived in force, coming on from every angle. All right, so before we go into psychic phase, the Onagar Dune Crawlers here have sighted the Helldrake. And we will try and intercept here. So it'll be freeze to hit twin linked. It's strength 7. So do you wish to jink? This is a tough choice here. You may want to measure up to see if you could get a shot off in the first place. Because if you're out of range, then you may as well jink. Yeah, we've just checked with Torrent there. He would be able to hit about half that squad, and there it would be a nasty blow to that range unit. So Luke's going to take the risk. No jink. Freeze to hit. Reroll. Missed with 1. So you're at strength 7. 5s and 6s are good. Just the 1. Hull point taken. That's not so bad. It could have been a lot worse. Oh, an invuln save, of course. Yeah, no. Demon, but fails, still fails. 1 hull point taken. So that's handy, that, for jinking. You can rely upon at least some kind of save, even if you don't jink. So unaffected, he will be able to fire at full effect. The intercept there. from the Honor Guard June Crawler is not enough to stop the Helldrake in its tracks. So Luke just rolling up here for Psychic Phase. We'll get this resolved next. Right, so Psychic Phase completed here. So Fury of the Gods cast and hit coming through. It's a Strength 6 AP3 plus, Strength 5 AP3 blast. Passed a couple of June saves there, but one of the Rangers or the Vanguard killed. And then before that, Death Hex was cast on here, trying to reduce the Invuln save down. It did go off on 2 5s. We blocked it, rolling all 6 of our dice, and got 3 6s. Yeah, so managed to block that from coming through. So Imperial Knight, nasty that. Cunning from him, trying to reduce his protection down, but failed this time around. So Psychic Phase finished, onto Shooting Phase next for the Black Legion. Do sense that they have a slight upper hand at the moment. They're taking the fight to the Skitarii and doing pretty well, and it's still their Shooting Phase to come. Right, so Traitor Knight here is going to trade blows here with the Imperial Knight. So the rockets system on top first of all.
1-8.
Our shield will declare us forward facing. It's a penetrating hit, no. Oh dear, right, we'll see if we can pass this one. If we do on a 5, it holds. Oh, that's good. Right, Avenger Gatling Cannon is in range. That will fire. Looking for rending hits to come through to bypass that armor 13. It is doable. Freeze for incredible roll. 2 misses. A load of 6s in there. We'll see if Luke can repeat that with his roll to armor penetrate here. So if he gets a 6, it equals 12. Then you add D3 on top of that. Oh no, 666. Well done. So it's D3. 1s and 2s, it will result in glances. Anything high will be penetrating hits. 2 4s and a 6, it's 3 penetrating hits. It doesn't make much difference, I suppose. It's just hull points being knocked down. I've got some of his corrupt dice here. We'll drop them down. Oh, look at that! That was a 6 and a 5. It doesn't count. So we'll roll out pure Skitarii dice, blessed by the Emperor.
Yeah.
Oh, no. 2 hull points now. Half dead. No, no. Oh, I know what it is. It's revenge for the previous game.
Of course it is.
He's done it. His mission is half accomplished here. My Imperial Knight now has lost 3 hull points. Okay, so the rest of the shooting's been resolved here. We've seen the damage coming through there. It's going well for the Black Legion at the moment. Come around here, one of the Vanguard picked off. That was fire from this squad. And then the Rangers met a grisly end. They were flamed from their left-hand side. And then also molten fiery liquid pouring over the top here. That was the bow flamer here from the Helldrake coming through. It was horrid. Catching the last 6 of them, the ones that did survive the flamer attack, they were all incinerated. Nowhere to hide, no cover saves allowed. Feel no pain not granted either, being strength 6 with the attack. So they're gone. Rangers destroyed. First blood picked up and a kill point as well. So 2 points picked up straight away for that kill. That was a very, very good manoeuvre indeed from the Black Legions. Their aggression is paying off here as they take the fight to the Skitarii. Assaults, yes, potentially here, and the ongoing melee across there with the Dragoon. So roll up some charge distances and Overwatch as well. Okay, so assaults here, and a bit of a shock result for the Skitarii. So Emotionless Clarity was our Warlord trait. This is the Warlord. And all of a 6, that's the trait that we got. It means we could fire Overwatch, a ballistic skill 4. Plasma caliber shots coming through, brought down 3 of the Raptors there, and then another one was brought down by Radium Carbine fire coming through. Then rolling for charges, a 2 and a 1 rolled, so they failed to reach in combat, needing a 5. These tried to charge in, needing an 11, rolled a double 1. So failed to reach in combat here, and the Skitarii Vanguard, pretty effective thanks to that unique Warlord trait. That's the one that comes inside the Skitarii book. So all we've got left then is, I mean, they could have charged, but their target was wiped out. So we're just going to go on to this ongoing melee here with the Dragoon and Mauler Fiend. Okay, so in this combat, it's simultaneous. We dropped initiative 3, and then we're only on 1 attack thanks to those Lasher Tendrils. So roll to hit, get a 6. Now, what's interesting here is you get 2 bonus hits for that. There with the Lance. We're at strength 7. We do get a 6. So that's a 5+ invuln required to stop that from going through. No. Bizarre. Okay, we'll roll our result. There's a 3, which is ignore, but it's a hull point put on top. See if you can fight back here. With your attacks, do get the hit. And a 5 should be strong enough. Penetrating hit, yeah. Roll result. We're open topped. There's a 4, becomes a 5. It's AP.
It's AP2.
AP2 becomes a 6, so now we're immobilised and a hull point taken. Alright, so not bad from the Dragoon. He's trying his best. So immobilised for him. The result after AP1 and open topped added on top of the result. Hull point taken here, and the melee continues. Now the turn's finished. Luke has rolled up for it will not die. Didn't pass this time, so the hull point stays on. So that is it. Turn 2 finished. It's been a dangerous turn for the Skitarii. The Black Legion have assaulted and attacked well, although it's not gone entirely their way. Struggling here against the Vanguard, Defiant with their very effective overwatch from them. Rangers, though, it's been a different end of the spectrum for them. They were wiped out and destroyed very, very quickly indeed. So Skitarii down here, their Imperial Knight half dead. Unit been wiped out. Dragoons in trouble. We'll see if the infiltrators turn up. Skitarii looking a little bit thin on the ground and intimidated for sure in the face of such aggression from the Black Legion. We'll go on to the second turn for them. They need an effective turn to keep themselves in the game. We'll go on to their turn next. Right, so on turn 2 with the Skitarii here. I usually play quite aggressively with them, but they're on the back foot. They've been intimidated here by the Black Legion surging forwards, and they've held back and then been kept out of shape, really. Units scattered across the table, and they're paying a price for that. Usually the philosophy is to keep them bunched together. Wish we had done that. Prime example here being the Rangers that were caught out on their own and promptly destroyed. But units faring better here. The ones that are staying together seem to be doing better. Got to be careful though, this Imperial Knight. If he comes down, this Skitarii will be in trouble, for they won't have much of a response otherwise against the Traitor Knight just here, who's dealing out death and destruction each turn, gradually bringing Grevan down. So a cautious, not cautious necessarily, but we need to be careful to some degree of the Skitarii. We'll see if the infiltrators turn up. I'm going to roll a dice here. A 3+, they're going to arrive. They do. They're going to turn up on one of the flanks. Right, so moving for the Skitarii here on their second turn. They've still got plenty of options. They're quite a small army. When they lose units, it is usually quite a blow to them. So losing the Rangers there and then the damage on the Imperial Knight. But still, we'll press on here. We can potentially do damage to the Black Legion. So moving at 9 inches with these. We're going to skirt around the right-hand side. Grevan's lurched forwards here 12 inches. He's not going to be able to charge this turn, but he's we can see what direction he's headed, so we may well get to see this close combat clash here that we've all been rooting for. Choose your sides now, viewers. Okay, the chanting starts from the mad heretics over there. We'll remain cool and calm at this end, cold and calculating with the Skitarii. Surging forwards, ignoring terrain with Dune Crawler. They've gone 6 inches just there. We're going to move and fire with those. Then here, these advancing through. Going to ignore him, try and go after this squad up here. Then across here, the infiltrators turned up on the left. We chose to go on the left-hand flank, and they're running up the dune here in an ambush position. Maybe I'll try and fire on one of these softer targets. Melee continues down here. Probably won't last till next turn. You reckon he'll be destroyed. So that is it. Is everything on the table for both sides? It is. So everything you see here, there'll be no extra to arrive. So victory will be decided by the units that are on the table. Well, one unit's not on the table. That's the Rangers. They've been eliminated. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Skitarii on their turn 2. Alright, so this turn we're going +2 ballistic skill. It means we're -1 weapon skill, but we reckon there's a lot more shooting than close combat for us. We're going to use that doctrine imperatives up this turn. So shooting phase coming up for the Skitarii, a lot of options for them. Right, okay, so a bit of shooting we've done here. There's a lot of dice on the table. This is flechette blasters. This is the infiltrators over here. They're firing at one of the cultist units who have been wounded 18 times. I take it you want to go to... Well, go to ground's no difference, is it? It's just a 6+ save. T-shirts, okay. Right. Could look at a target deleted here from these infiltrators. Just conceding they may well get shot at and killed. Going to go for a kill. Save none with his T-shirts there. So don't ever invest in a Black Legion T-shirt. No protection whatsoever. Chaos Cultist unit caught out there. Advancing forward zealously. Didn't look behind them. Infiltrators have ambushed them from behind and wiped them out with their flechette blast. Oh, flechette blasters. Nasty. They've done it before. We've seen them do it in a number of games. Those underrated pistols are only at strength 2. But 35 shots there, needing 2s to hit, re-rolling 1s and getting 6s. Did get 31 hits, 18 wounds. It's brought down the cultists there. So Luke's saying he's not experienced playing against Skitarii before. He'll not forget that experience there with the infiltrators. All right, so we'll press some of the rest of the shooting. All right, then down here, another turn up for the Skitarii, firing the plasma calivers. 6 hits, 5 wounds. Went to ground, but nothing they could do to stop them. That is a unit of they're not warp tanners, they're raptors. They've been destroyed by the Vanguard here. Sort of moving around quite boldly with them, because if they're charged, they'll fire at Overwatch, a ballistic skill 4. So an interesting unit to deal with. Sort of a bizarre warlord trait, that one, but that's helping them out. The unit's done particularly well. So Skitarii making a bit of a comeback here so far. The first 2 shooting attacks have wiped out 2 Black Legion unit choices. We'll press on with the next round of shooting. We're trying to decide what target to go after with these. Right, so these are going to fire. We have to try and take out the Helldrake over there. It can't be allowed to roam around the table. So I'll ask now, are you going to jink or 5+ invuln?
5+ invuln.
Yeah, because these are ignores cover anyway. So 2+. Reroll this one, try and get a 6. No, okay. So 14 hits, 6s to glance. There's 4. 4 5+ invuln saves to make. It's a tough roll required here. No, Helldrake's down. He's been brought down by the Honor Guard Dune Crawlers. So, I mean, these are good results here for the Skitarii, but I don't know how much of it's going to be relevant if that Imperial or Traitor Knight can't be dealt with. That's the focal point. We're going to have a go at that next. Grevan Ferrous Maximus will let loose with his shooting, try and cause at least some damage on this Traitor Knight. And what's interesting is, you reckon on the next turn, 12 inches, Luke with the Black Legion will get to charge first. That could be crucial. Okay, next round of shooting coming up. Pretty effective so far. Alright, so just thinking about the shooting now, we're trying to remain calm. We're going to let loose of all the weaponry here, but we've just seen something. Just thinking about the situation over on the left-hand side. And this is the selflessness of this Imperial Knight here. He's seen a potential danger for the Vanguard unit. That is, thinking about it here, if he charges in, I'll be forced to overwatch on the one model, whilst these close in for the kill. So what we're going to do is fire this rocket system down. Try and pick him off, and that should helpfully preserve them. If we can kill him, that creates a dilemma there for the Black Legion, but we'll see. And then we'll fire this weapon here. It could go for them. I do feel we need to do damage against the Traitor Knight, and psychologically as well. We can't just ignore it. That won't encourage the Skitarii units around. Grevan has to be seen to be doing something against the Traitor Knight that opposes him. So that's the... We'll fire the stubber down there at those. Alright, so that's the shooting declared for the night. Rocket system on top. Going after the... Oh, just the one. 2s for a wound. Yes.
4 up in front. Oh, who are you aiming at? Sorry.
The one, the lone guy, just in the corner, yeah. So what does he get? 5+ cover save? It is a 2. He is gone. That's mission accomplished there. Well done, Grevan. Picking up that important event going on in the corner has helped out his Skitarii brethren, the Vanguard, just over there. Stubber down here. Freeze to hit. 2. Freeze to kill. I think it's a AP6, so he's gone. It's one of those picked off. Avenger Gatling Cannon now against the Traitor Knight. Needing freeze. That's a good roll. 6s now, though, to do something. There's 2. So the shield no doubt has been declared facing forwards. So 4+ invuln. Ah, he saves both. Good dice roll there. So the Traitor Knight remains untouched and is poised to lurch forwards and potentially charge into Grevan, Ferrous, Maximus here. I don't know if they'll cancel each other out in combat. I don't know. I've never done this before. We've never...
Before it has done. Cancel each other.
Have they? Okay, so you may want to move in, blast away other targets, and just charge into combat. We'll see. We'll go on to combats next. There's a potential charge here. We'll roll that one up, and the continuing melee just over there. It just pointed out to me here by Luke there. It's very sportsmanship here. We can actually charge them. May as well. We'll roll up that charge as well. Alright, so charge has gone ahead. I rolled a 4 here, so not far enough to reach the occultists, so they'll be happy enough not to fight in that combat. But rolled a 9 here. +3 is 12. 12 inches flying across the dunes here. It's their local habitat. They've moved very quickly here and have made it into combat there against the cultists. So that's charges taking place. Skitarii with a chance here to pick up another kill point, and then this ongoing combat over here. The Dragoons should be destroyed. We'll roll up these results here next. Okay, so combat's resolved here. Just as they raise their weapons to fight in combat, the Ruststalkers are all over them, wiping them out. We've had a chance to strike back. We do need to consolidate these, actually. We'll do that in just a moment. The Mauler Fiend can consolidate as well, because he has destroyed the Dragoon here as well. We failed to hit, and then a penetrating hit was enough to destroy him. So Luke can move him somewhere. Oh dear, I'm just going to go after the infiltrators. All about kill and be killed here in this game, as the different units trying to pick up points for their faction. So combat's finished. Now Skitarii doing well all across the table, everywhere apart from here. The Knight is intact. The Traitor Knight has not been damaged, and that unit alone can dominate and win games. And if that's not dealt with, then there'll be trouble for the Skitarii, despite how well they do in other areas of the table. So we'll go on to the third turn now for the Black Legion. If they charge in, if this unit charges in and destroys the Knight, then there will be trouble for the Skitarii for sure. If they cancel each other out, it'll be to the Skitarii's advantage, we reckon. And if Grevan wins, then there'll be shouting and jubilation all across the Imperial lines, and the story will be passed back and commemorated every year. I don't know, we'll see. So we'll go on to the third turn now. We'll see what the Black Legion decide to do. Alright, so Luke's on the move here. He's doing other units first, saving the best till last. The Traitor Knight's like the gravy here of his roast dinner. So just holding off with there. I'm just watching to see what he does. Will he surge ahead here and make this happen? We'll have to see. Right, another sly tactic here for trying to get in for Overwatch. So he's splitting the unit up. The independent character's leaving, and then that'll create a dilemma there for the Vanguard with their Overwatch. Interesting tactic. So where are these going? They're heading off. You'd think they'd stay away from the Rust Stalkers, but they're heading off this way. Maybe just clearing a path for a certain larger unit lumbering behind. Getting out of the way, yeah. Yeah, it's going to happen. He's doing it. Just into there. There's some distance to travel. I mean, he may not reach in combat. I reckon about 6 or 7 inches.
Probably
7 inches will do it. Bear that in mind for later on. I mean, they're configured the same, apart from the melter, so slightly better armament. Ours is slightly taller. Because no, seriously, it is because of the base. Yeah, I added some stuff underneath, so that just got spiky bits. All right on there. So, oh dear, right. So it really is descending into silliness here at the moment, but we'll get serious in just a moment. We can't fire Overwatch, can we? No. All right. So Reaper chainswords at the ready. Rev them up. There'll be a potential combat. So movement done. Just report the rest. So these moving across, then coming around here. We've seen this movement take place here, splitting off. So there's 2 targets for Overwatch. Down here, moving across here with these cultists, and then just an inch away here with the Mauler Fiend getting ready to charge in against the infiltrators. So a lot of units, well, a lot of destruction here. So the game's speeding up. There's less on the table. Yes, of course, yes. The Demon Prince is going to move. Still flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, looks like he's going to use some psychic powers. Does have some shooting options there to go after the Rust Stalkers. So that is movement finished. Just his wounds to trail along. Blood dripping as he flies along there. Gravely wounded, but still alive. So movement done. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next for the Black Legion on turn 3. Psychic Phase done. Warp Fate here, so he's going to reroll armor saves. And then here, Fury of the Gods. Got 4 wounds. It's scattered, but hit 4. 4 wounds. Fouled invuln saves a 6+, but fouled passed 2 feel no pains. That's just 1 base removed. So that's Psychic Phase done. Not too bad. I mean, they're about 30 points a model. So each one of those that's brought down is pretty expensive. But that's Psychic Phase finished. Shooting Phase next. Be interesting to see what he targets there with the Traitor Knight. We'll get this shooting resolved next. Right, so on to shooting with the Traitor Knight now. So declared as the Storm Spear rocket pod into them, to soften them up. The Avenger Gatling Cannon across here to these, and then a Melter Shot, of course, into here. So nice diversity of targets. So what would you like to start off with? Alone?
Let's do the Storm Spear at your June quarters.
Yes, okay, so 3 shots.
2
hits, strength 8. A penetrating hit. Got a 4+ force field here, which fails, it goes through. And the result is a 6, immobilized. Ouch. Alright, so immobilized here, we'll be able to repair that potentially. So it's not the end of the world for that June Crawler. That's that one. So coming across here, Avenger Gatling Cannon, just within arc. 12 shots, freeze. Some misses. This would be devastating damage potentially here against these Rust Stalkers.
2s?
Yes, 2s to wound, instant death as well. A load of them. Right, so we have an invuln save to protect us. It's 6+.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there's a cocked dice there. 1. Okay, so we saved 3. That's helped out, but 3 of them brought down. It will be a morale check. No, it won't be actually, because we are Zealot Fearless. But seriously reduced down in strength, but not entirely wiped out. In fact, would have been wiped out without that invuln save coming through. So the last one then is saving the best till last again. Seems to be a habit here with with Luke's Black Legion. So a multi-melter. Melter, just regular melter, does get hit. Our shield's facing forwards, naturally, and a 6 will penetrate. It would have been 2d6, actually. Oh, no, it's just a melter, isn't it? Range 6, so it wouldn't have been. But it does go through. That is a score of a 14. 4+. We hold on a 6. It'll have to be combat where the damage is done. So not too bad. So there's some run moves, I think, left to do. A little bit of shooting. We'll finish that off for Black Legion on turn 3. Okay, so shooting here, shot coming through. What is it, a plasma pistol? Yeah, okay, so a kill there, nothing we can do about that. Then across here, 3 wounds caused on these, that was shooting from the cultists. Passing our battle plate armor saves of 4+, so no damage coming through. That's it. So, shooting is finished. We'll go on to assaults next. There's assaults all across the table. Virtually everything's going to get to be involved in combat here. Are they going to charge?
Yeah, give it a go, yeah.
Okay, they're going to charge. He's going to charge.
Yeah.
Then they're going to charge first. They're the expendable unit to protect him. Then he's going to try and charge in. And then around here, yes, there'll be a charge here as well. All right, so roll up charges and Overwatch next. Right, so assaults here. Mauler Fiend easily made it in. Nothing we could do about that. Cultists failed to charge. We've just swarmed around there, getting ready to fight that combat. We do stand some chance. We can damage that thing with glancing hits coming through. Then here, wiping out the squad charging in. It was actually the radium carbines causing 5 wounds and then failing 3 of those on 1s and 2s. They brought 3 of them down. The other 2 were brought down by plasma calivers. One of them did get hot and he died. But it was a decent price to pay. He has made it into combat, needing a 6 and getting a 6. It was tight, but he managed to make it in to combat just there. This is the Warlord, isn't it, this one?
No, the Warlord is over.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah, it's the Demon Prince across here. We haven't rolled this one up yet, don't panic. He will make an attempt to charge. So we reckon 7 inches. Going to need an average score to make it in. Ooh. There's a cocked dice. A 4+ will do it. Not a 1. Oh, dear, he's not made it in. He's not made it in. So we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to resolve the other combats and wait till the Skitarii turn next before any combat takes place. If we decide to charge in, we probably will, but we'll see how the game goes. So we do have a little plan, sort of. There's a little way we might be able to help out Grevan here. We'll see. But we're going to combats. So we have this one to resolve. And then also down here. Initiative. Yeah, so this one here is Hammer of Wrath, first of all. Okay. Initiative 10. Does wound if you're on strength. Oh, yeah. So 4+ save, we do. We hold. Yeah, just discussing it here. Lash of Tendrils, -2 attacks off each model. So we're getting ready to strike out there with loads of attacks. But that's going to be severely reduced down. In fact, you charged us. So we're down to 1 attack each, as opposed to 3 attacks each. That could put us at a severe disadvantage there, but we'll see. We'll roll up first. Our initiative is higher. So 8 attacks in total. 6s will help us out. None. So we're on 4s to hit. Yes, or 3s to hit. Weapon skill 3. You are on weapon skill.
3, yeah.
Okay. 6s we need. There's 2. So they're glancing hits. 2 invuln saves, 5+ saves 1. 1 does go through, so whole point taken.
There's 1 left.
1 left, interesting. Imagine the damage we could have done if that was triple the amount of attacks. With the Lash of Tendrils keeping the infiltrators at bay here. What a unique combat we're seeing. So fighting back here with 3 attacks on the charge. 4?
4, 1, yeah.
Okay. 4s. 2s for kills. 2. Now we get invuln saves here of 6+. We hold 1. And then the strength notes, feel no pain is not going to count, so we lose 1. And that counts as 2 wounds. We've actually lost the combat there by 1. We need to do a leadership test, because instant death here, 2 wounds taken, we only dealt out 1 whole point damage. So leadership of 8. They'll hold, thankfully. They do hold, so it's blow for blow here. You can try and repair yourself now. Roll that now, it's the end of your turn. 5, oh dear, whole point comes off. Infuriating there. Mauler Fiend's a tough customer. Okay. Right, demon weapon here's rolled up. 9 attacks here. Could cause trouble for the squad. It's AP 3 as well. Weapon skill 3. So you'll be on 3s to hit. Nasty. 3s to wound. We don't get an invuln with these. Gosh, load of wounds coming through. 6. Feel no pains though. Of 6+. None. So 6 dead. Now, actually, would you believe it? It is actually not quite a wipeout. The Alpha does have 2 wounds. So he lives, wounded, kneeling before this abomination in submission. Roll up his leadership. That'll be a bust. You can chase us down. We roll a 1. Oh dear. A 2. That'll be enough. It is a wipeout. So you can consolidate with him. It paid off in the end, finally destroying the Vanguard just there. Another point picked up.
There's a Warlord in there as well, isn't it?
Oh, Warlord kill as well. So 2 points picked up as worth going after that squad. Right, so turn finish. We didn't see this combat take place. It went not too bad there. Blow for blow over there with the Maul Fiend and the Infiltrators. And then across here, a wipeout here for this. What is he called?
He's a Chaos Lord.
The Chaos Lord, right, okay. He did well. He did do well. Yeah, it's nameless. The nameless one is making a name for himself here. Sorry, bad joke. Okay. So another opportunity to name that character here. Leave your comments in the feedback section below the video. Right, so turn finished. We'll go on to the next turn now for the Skitarii. Not much left on the table. There's still some stuff, but there's been definite destruction brought about on both sides. A lot of units being destroyed here. So a vicious, nasty fight taking place between these two forces. So we're going to the next turn. It's turn 3 next for the Skitarii. It looks like so much has already taken place already, but we'll go on to their turn. Chance for them to use their shooting and try and prepare the way for Grevan to potentially charge. You reckon he will? He has to. He must. It is his duty. We'll go on to Skitarii turn 3 next. Alright, so movement for the Skitarii here on their 3rd turn. It's happened just the way the angle the terrain is here. It's tipped the model forward. There ended up being forehead to forehead here. Chainsword to chainsword. Avenger Gatling cannon to Gatling cannon here. Melter to stubber. As they line up to charge in. Now we'll try and fire at other targets here before we go in. We're closing in here with these Rust Stalkers. There's a data spike in there, which grants him haywire in his attacks. Could cause a bit of trouble for the Knights. A bit of a sly attack there from the Skitarii sweeping in. Grevan's been so kind in looking after other Skitarii units. The Rust Stalkers feel they need to aid and help him in his combat as well. Advancing with 2 of the Rust Stalkers. The other one's immobilised, but still maintaining the squadron. And that is it. The melee continues across here with the Maul Fiend and Infiltrators. So, no psychic phase. We're going to go on to shooting phase next for the Skitarii on turn 3. So, we're going to record this here, capture the events as they unfold. Avenger Gatling Cannon into him. The Twin Link Flamer, Heavy Flamer into these. It catches all of them. Stubber will go into them as well, just to try and finish them off. Rocket Pod on top will go after the character just over there in the corner, the Chaos Lord. And that's it for him. So resolve this shooting. So Avenger Gatling Cannon into the Traitor Knight. Freeze to hit. Come on, Grevan. 10 hits. Strength 6, nothing. Alright, so nothing comes through. The Twin Linked Heavy Flamer. It's not Twin Linked Flamer, it's just regular Heavy Flamer. 2s to get them. All of them, they're gone.
Take them.
So they're removed. That's a kill point. So that could be Grevan's farewell gesture here before he charges in.
Well done.
Rocket Pod firing across. Freeze for hits. Look at that. 2 6s and a 5. 2s for wounds. Yes. Right. Zinvon saves here at 3+. Instant death?
Yeah, it will be.
Oh, it is.
Gone.
He's gone. Way to go, Grevan. Not too bad at all. So whatever happens to him, 2 points picked up regardless of this clash here. So selfless here with his shooting, firing the heavy flame across here, rocket pod in that direction. So truly a hero of the Imperium. Take your last look at him. I don't know, we'll see. Might emerge victorious. Here we're going to throw a haywire grenade. We miss on a 1. Alright, so we were lining these up to shoot at the Demon Prince. That was the original target, but a blunder there though with movement. These are 45 degrees angle with their shooting, so the Demon Prince is out of angle, so a bit of a mistake there. We should have pivoted these two, but never mind, they've moved ahead. And with snap shooting, Cognis autocannons needed 5s, twin linked, they got a good number of hits, and then the Gatling rocket launchers as well, causing some hits on the cultists over there, reducing them down. There's just 4 of them left. They did pass morale, but pretty effective there, even with snap shooting with them. That shooting phase is finished. Not much left on the table here for Black Legion, or for Skitarii really. Both sides suffering heavy casualties in this vicious game. But enough talking. We're going to roll up some charge ranges here. We need, well, it's an automatic reach here. The combat will go ahead. We'll just roll the dice to see what we've got. 6, that'll do. So combat will take place here. We're just looking around to see if there's any other charges. Yes, we are going to try and sneak these in to the combat as well. They're virtually in with their +3. Oh, they go in there. That's the 12 +3, so 15-inch charge range they've rolled up. They'll make it into combat against the Knight. Right, so just discussing what can happen here. This is a dangerous unit. They can place a Haywire grenade, and then Data Spike, we're going to get 1 attack at Haywire initiative 10, and the rest of his attacks will be Haywire as well. So there's the potential there for that unit to take off hull points. Luke here for the Black Legion is going to put all of his attacks into Grevan. Grevan's going to put all of his attacks into there. They're both strike initiative 4, so everything's going to kick off initiative 4. And then if the Traitor Knight emerges, if he survives, he can stomp these. That's the plan. We'll roll up and see what happens. Hammer of Wrath, first of all. 6 penetrates, would you believe it? So there's nothing to roll, is there? No invuln. Okay, so hull point caused.
Going down to 5.
Yeah. Well, our regular AP 2.
Strength 10.
Yeah.
So there's no AP for Hammer of Wrath.
Isn't it? Right, fine. Okay, so just a hull point caused. So a blow there. A kick to the chest there from Grevan will go on to the rest of his attacks. So who should go first here? Are we being polite here?
Well, you've got an initiative 10 Data Spike, is it, or something?
Oh, yes, that should go next, of course, yeah. So roll that one up. That one hits. So it's a 2 here. Yes, it does. So another hull point caused from the Data Spike there with Haywire ability. So 2 hull points, almost evening up the hull points here with these Knights. Right, so we'll go first here. Very polite here from the Black Legion player. 4s. Oh, Grevan. Truly the Emperor is with thee. Strength 10.
That's D.
Strength D, sorry. 6. This is gone. He's destroyed. Right, so now all that happens is, can Grevan survive this? That's the question we'll ask. He's going to come down. There's nothing can stop it. Will Grevan live? It's all down to this dice roll. Take your time. 1 hit. Oh, it is a 5. That's a nasty result. It's a D weapon there with the Reaper Chainsaw. That could be enough to bring him down. We'll consult the rules here. Right, so we've consulted the rules. It's a solid hit through here with the Reaper Chainsword. It's D3 hull points. So simply put, if you roll a 5 or a 6, if Luke rolls a 5 or a 6, Grevan will collapse to the ground. If it's anything less, he will live. Take your time. Oh, a 6 blast. Grevan's come down as well. So we're going to witness a double Titanic explosion potentially here with these two coming down. They've cancelled each other out in true fashion. So I don't know what the fate of these will be before. Yeah, okay. So we'll roll up the death and destruction here. We'll calculate that out, see what remains. All right, so a lot of billowing smoke on the table. 1 Titanic explosion took place and then another regular explosion there. 2 of the Ruststalkers caught and killed. And then 1 of them has survived wound taken. He was caught in a strength 4 blast from that Titanic explosion. Now, that's that explosion from there. This one scattered about 9 inches across this way. So Grevan, as he died, even in death, he was selfless and thinking only of his Skitarii brethren. He fell and collapsed in this direction, detonating in this area here, causing no damage to any other units. So there he is. It's a sad sight to see him down there. So he gave himself in the cause of the Skitarii here. What a noble ally to have on your side. But he has fallen here, but taken a Traitor Knight with him. We can consolidate here, actually, with this Ruststalker. We reckon that's going to bring about Well, I can't say it's going to bring about victory. It's hard to say even at this stage. Black Legion still have a number of units alive. This thing's still alive here. And the Mauler Fiend still alive and well also. So we'll press on here. The game's far from concluded yet. We'll get this other melee resolved. So there's the Fallen Knight, just pointing him out again. But coming back over here to this combat, 7 dice with these. 6s are good. There's 1, so it's a bonus. No, rolling 2 hit here. So we score. Them, your weapon skill 3, weapon skill 4. Yeah. And then 2 bonus hits. 6s. Nothing this turn. Okay, a chance to strike here. If you can break these and chase them down, there'll be trouble. 2 hits. 2s to wound. Just the 1. 6 plus in 1. Whoa, we hold. Blow for blow. They're locked in combat. Melee continues. That marks the end of the 3rd turn for Skitarii. Damage done on both sides. So whatever the scoreline will be, it will be tight, for sure. I reckon Skitarii have killed more at this stage. We'll see. We'll go on to the 4th turn now for the Black Legion. Not much left for them to do, really. This Demon Prince still alive. He does have good survivability. And then across here, what's left of these cultists. Right, so movement done quite straightforward. We consolidated an inch, by the way, from last turn. Moving across here, chasing him. Just going to try and pick up the point there. So that would be helpful to score that victory point there for killing the Princeps. Then across here, thinking about charging in with the cultists, but electing to hide with them instead. They probably wouldn't do too well against the Skitarii infiltrators just there. So that's movement done. We'll go on to Psychic Phase next, actually, for the Black Legion on turn 4. Right, so Fury of the Gods cast, but it's scattered. We tried to block it, but it missed anyway. And then the other one is called the one where you reroll Warp Fate. Reroll armor saves. That was passed. That goes ahead. Psychic Phase finished. On to Shooting next for the Black Legion on turn 4. Shooting Phase finished. Nothing to shoot. So on to melees. No charges, not be allowed this turn. He's gone into glide mode, so we'll be able to assault next time. So just continuing on there with the Mauler Fiend and the infiltrators. Right, so we'll go first here. 3s to hit. Yep, no bonus hits though, with the taser raw. 6s are good. There's 2. Could be trouble. It's fouled with 1 dice on the floor. Passed with the other on a 6, so hull point taken. Now you can roll dice to see if you recover it back again. If you no, okay, so that hull point goes on. So we've almost killed it there. Fighting back. 2 hits, 2s to wound. 2 this time. Could be trouble for the infiltrators here. 6s, none. No feel no pain allowed. So 2 of those brought down. So we lose by 3. We could break here. Leadership passed on a 3. They'll continue to hold against the Mauler Fiend. Alright, so that's that combat resolved over there. Continuing to go on there, locking that fast Black Legion unit down, but it's taken a decent unit to do it and to hold it in place. So that marks the end of the 4th turn. We'll go on to the 4th turn now for the Skitarii. I was going to say Skitarii and Imperial Knight ally, but there he is laying there slain in amongst that burning fuel. It does hurt to see him down. You know, the hours and hours spent painting him and all the chevrons and stripes on top and the transfers and so on, and now all that's left is a smouldering hulk, but oh so slightly satisfying the circumstances in which he died, and it's nice to see chivalry and nobility here in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Movement done here. The Princeps moving quickly as fast as his mechanical legs can carry him across here. He's on the run. He's running from here and then running to there. He's going to try and help in combat, not this turn, but maybe next turn. Melee continues over there with the infiltrators, and then across here, positioning these, facing the right direction this time to try and bring down the Demon Prince. Abandoning their squadron mate, just frees these 2 up to be able to charge, potentially, if they need to, so he's now on his own. We did roll last turn to see if we repaired the immobilised result and didn't. So that's it, we'll go on to Shooting Phase next for the Skitarii on turn 4. Alright, so Shooting Phase done. You can see the Demon Prince has been removed. That's the circle where he was. Firing here with these two brought him down. It's the Gatling rocket launchers in the end. Deadly, strength 6, AP4. Went +1 ballistic skill. This turns to 2s to hit with 10 shots. 3s to wound, and then a load of re-rollable 5+ invuln saves to make there with the ignores cover ability from them. So pretty effective. Dim Prince is gone. A point picked up and slay the Warlord as well. So that's definitely helping the Skitarii in their pursuit of victory here. Couldn't hit them with anything. Ran him just an inch. +3 is 4, so he's made it to there. And we'll just go straight into combats now with the infiltrators as they desperately try and bring down the last hull point on the Maul Fiend. So 5 attacks. 6s, there's 2 6s and 2 hits, so we'll add an extra 4 dice into this. It's not bad. 6s, just the 1. So an invuln, is that it?
Gone.
He's gone. All right, and then doesn't get to strike. Initiative?
3.
No, she doesn't get to strike here. Infiltrators have emerged victorious here right at the end. So a bit of respect there for the infiltrators. They've stood up to this thing, despite losing all those attacks. Remember, they were losing 2 attacks each for those lasher tendrils, but still they managed to get their prods in there and electrocute and short circuit this thing. Can you imagine them fighting away, and then the Maul thing grabbing them one at a time and tearing them apart. But the race has been won by the infiltrators here. They managed to kill it before they were wiped out. So good result from them. We can consolidate actually. We'll work out that consolidation, and then that'll mark the end of the turn. Okay, so turn finished. I was going to say end of the game, but there's a unit of cultists just here, and they do have a personal vendetta against this Princeps. There's a point that can be picked up. He's on a wound as well, so they do stand a chance of picking up another point here. So we will go on to the 5th turn now, yeah, for Black Legion. Just film the entire turn.
Not much, is it?
Shouldn't take too long. So there they go. They'll have shooting, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So you can roll those up.
2
hits.
1 wound.
Okay. 4+. Yes, you'll have to charge here. So you can roll up your distance. May as well go straight into assaults. 7 will do it. Now they'll be in. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Overwatch. We could throw a Mind Scrambler grenade. which does hit actually. Could wound. We'll check here the strength for this thing. No, sorry, Mind Scrambler grenade is a blast weapon, so we couldn't throw it, so that's fine. So he's made it into combat then, no problem. Initiative is us. We'll go first. Data spike first of all. That's completely cocked, that dice. Roll up again. 5's a hit. No wound at all. And then our regular attacks, initiative 4. So 4 attacks. Freeze. Reroll for Zealot. Yes. Strength 4. The strength 4. There's a cock dice. 6. That's it. AP5. They're gone. Oh dear. And finished. All right. So wipe out here. We'll get an exact score. It'll be a close scoreline, but Skitarii will automatically win. But work out exact victory points here. Skitarii have the victory, but a terrible, terrible cost. A terrible cost indeed. Okay, so worked out the score here. Total for the Skitarii is 14. That's for all of the units on the list killed. Warlord to kill as well. So that made 14 in total. And then for the Black Legion, yeah, and I was just working this out. So Warlord kill here. First Blood, so that's 2 points. And the 2 infantry units were killed, that's 4 points. These were killed, that's 5 points. Imperial Knight, 6 points. And then just looking around, I don't think there's any other points there that were picked up. No. So that's it. So 14 points to 6. So pretty high for the Skitarii in the end. Physically on the table, it's been death and destruction. It's been horrendous here. Not much left for the Skitarii at all. But they have emerged victorious here. Pain has been inflicted by them, and they have received pain in return, but they have emerged victorious here with a pretty decent scoreline. Thanks to Luke Seaman for coming down with the Black Legion. Very enjoyable game. Both the games that we played, very enjoyable indeed, and it's been 2 very exciting games and scenarios that we've played. But this one, very cinematic indeed, and for the first time we've seen Imperial Knight versus Traitor Knight. The two clashed together and they pulverised each other in the centre of the battlefield here. Grevan no doubt will be patched back together again, and then a memorial plaque and stone erected just here will mark the spot where the two knights clashed and they cancelled each other out here in this desert terrain. But great battle. Hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed playing the game. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Right, so just discussing units of the game. A clear one here for the Black Legion. The Traitor Knight did very well indeed, causing damage all over the table and then charging in and taking out an Imperial Knight as well. For Skitarii, a number of choices. The Honour Guard Dune Crawlers did particularly well, dealing with flyers, and their shooting was pretty good. The Rush Stalkers round here moved around quickly, picking up points as well. They did okay. Infiltrators, respect for them as well. They came on, ambushed and destroyed a unit, and then held a Mauler Fiend, ultimately destroying that in combat, so particularly good from them. Vanguard did alright as well, with their shooting, taking out a lot of models down here also. And then the Imperial Knight, Grevan, Ferrous, Maximus of House Raven did pretty good also. It's hard to say. Going to give it to the Imperial Knight. So we're both going to choose our knights. That's a nice way to end it here. So that's units of the game for both sides.